Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Beef Dipped. So they are calling this one a Simcoe-Hopped Double IPA, comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 6 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer. So big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with. And this time around, they hooked me up with 5 different beers. 5 different beers. But full disclosure, I've had this one before, and that's because they sent me this beer. I believe it was in late 2020, but my channel was already on hiatus. And that hiatus continued until the fall of 2021. So I ended up drinking this beer in early 2021 off camera. I did post a Untapped check-in, and what I said about this one is grapefruit, peach, a touch of berry, and an herbaceousness. That's what I said. I gave it a 4.25 out of 5. So I don't have anything else to go off of other than my Untapped check-in. There are tasting notes on the back, which I will not read until the end. And hopefully this is delicious. I remember it being really good. And what I like about the label here is, once again, they're paying homage to all things Chicago. Beef dipped, Italian beef sandwiches. You can get them, I believe, dipped or undipped. And I just like the artwork. I think it's pretty swell. It's pretty swell. It's just a nice label overall. And I poured that like an idiot. Sweet. I figured that was, kind of bubbling up, but living super large with these paper towels now. That's what we're doing, so we're fine here. Finally decided, hey, maybe I should put some paper towels next to me when I do reviews, because I've had some beers lately that have just gushed for whatever reason. This one seems to be quite carbonated, so we have taken care of that. Look how simple that was when you have paper towels nearby. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, make sure this is properly at you guys. Anyway, so that has, again, that milky, deep honey orange color. Can't see through it. Murky, turbid, the whole nine. About a forefinger of this off-white, super foamy but soap sudsy looking head that's not going anywhere. So I'm going to try my best to get a nose on it. Okay, so yeah, grapefruit, unmistakable right off the rip. So I know why I said grapefruit first, because it's big, it's sweet, it's candied, it's, I don't want to say almost synthetic, but I did review a beer recently from New Belgium, their Voodoo Ranger Juice Force, and that had natural flavors in it, and it had like this grapefruit kind of like candy juice kind of quality to it. I'm getting that here, but not, it doesn't have that like natural or that artificial kind of twang to it. It's like over-ripened. It's like you took a pink grapefruit or a ruby red grapefruit and you sprinkled some sugar onto it. That's what I'm getting grapefruit wise. There's peach for sure, mango, stone fruits 100%. A little bit of that berry, and I'm honestly getting like a raspberry, red raspberry. And then there's a dank herbaceousness. So basically everything I said about this one that I had about a year and a half ago is holding true in this one. I will say it does smell sweeter. It smells candied. It doesn't seem like this is going to have a big bitterness. I don't remember saying this one was overly sweet though. But it smells actually pretty fucking good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. Definitely lean sweet, 100%. Okay, so how do I start explaining this without like really rehashing what I feel this tastes like compared to when I had it a year and a half ago? It's pretty much the same. Let's go body and mouthfeel. Body on this one. Despite the huge head and what looks to be like a very carbonated beer, it's very smooth and somewhat creamy on the palate. It's soft. So the mouthfeel itself, fantastic. The body, medium, maybe a touch over. Perfect for 7.5%. So I think the body and mouthfeel are really good. The taste though, it's sweet candy grapefruit at the front of the palate. A little bit of like a candied orange peel as well. So citrus at the front. Passes through, I'm getting peach, a little bit of mango, a definite stone fruit vibe, but I go more peach, maybe apricot, something like that. Then that red raspberry hits me middle of the palate, and on the finish, I'm left with a very dank and herbaceous kind of bitterness. The first couple sips, it wasn't noticeable, but as I continue to sip on it, the bitterness is ramping up a little bit. So a lot of sweet, juicy, fruity, candy kind of vibes at the front of the palate, back of the palate. It dissipates and turns into this nice resinous, dank, herbaceous bitterness. This is moderately bitter, semi-dry. It's well balanced to some degree. I still think this leans like 60-40 in terms of the sweetness, but it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be after those first two sips. I don't remember it being super sweet when I had it last time, so maybe the same thing happened. I just didn't mention it on tap. 7.5%. I am getting a little bit of an astringency, which is rare for a Hop Butcher beer at this point. That's, you know, quite fresh, but also one of their 7.5% ABV double IPAs. Usually I don't get that. So there's a little bit of alcohol in here, little touch of warming in the chest, but there is a little bit of an astringency on the palate, which is very rare, keep in mind. It's really good though. Like I said, it's almost perfectly balanced, leans a little bit sweeter, but not too much. I like the complexity between the citrus notes, the stone fruits, that berry, herbaceous dankness, nice bittering on the back of the palate, but not too much for me. Really fucking good beer. I can't really give it, I might give it a little bit less because of that slight alcohol stringency, that's wild to me. Like I've had, you know, 10.5% triple IPAs that drank a little less and hit the alcohol better than this, which is crazy. It's not like this is a big boozy monster, but typically when I drink a 7.5%, 8% double IPA from anybody, especially Hop Butcher, I rarely ever pick up and detect the alcohol in the palate, so it's kind of weird that I'm getting it here, but outside of that, I still think this is really good. So beef dip from Hop Butcher, we will read tasting notes in a second. I have no problems giving this a solid, we are going to give this a low 4.25. We'll go 4.2. I'll knock it slightly, 0.05 because of that alcohol stringency. Outside of that, really good beer. It's fucking Hop Butcher. What do you expect? Anyway, tasting notes. Ripe berry. Yeah, I said red raspberry. Wouldn't be the first tasting note, but again, depending on which order you read it in, I usually read it from like, they have it at like 10 o'clock and then 2 o'clock and then 6 o'clock. And I usually read the 10 o'clock one first. Why? Because I'm an idiot. But yeah, ripe berry. Next, dank greens. I guess that would be the herbaceous dankness. Yeah, you could say dank greens. I said dank herbaceousness. Very similar. And then last is sweet grapefruit. No doubt. That would be my main tasting note, sweet candied grapefruit. So yeah, the tasting notes are probably similar to what I said last time and what I'm saying this time. So price and availability, I believe these are like $14.99, $15.99 in the Chicagoland for a 4-pack. If you see it in distro, probably $18 to $20. Well worth it for something like this. Although there are better double IPAs from Hop Butcher, especially in the 7.5 realm. This is still pretty damn good. And availability, who knows anymore with Hop Butcher? They're all over the place. They're nowhere. It depends. Some people see them, some people don't. If you really want to try Hop Butcher stuff out, you put in a little bit of effort and you can find their stuff, whether that's driving a couple hours, whether that's trading with somebody, whether that's hoping that one of your places locally gets them in. But if you really want their stuff, you can make it happen. Trust me, you can. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one, post in the description box. Let me know what you think about it. I think this is very similar to the one I had last time. I just don't remember that slight alcohol stringency. I'd say that's the only knock on this one compared to when I had it last time. Although last time I think I had it maybe like 2 months old, maybe 2.5 months old. So this is a little bit fresher. Maybe that dies out a little bit with some age. Who knows? Anyway, thanks again to Hop Butcher. Thanks everybody for stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. English. Till the next one. Cheers.